non-custodial parent, that child actually has a better chance of being successful in the future. And there is really the big win out of this whole process, is that we're going to break that vicious cycle that has been repeating itself over and over. And so I got to applaud the state of Wisconsin, our child support agency led by Maria Lasecki, in terms of breaking the mode or the historical aspect of what we've done in terms of this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to live in a silo, and we're going to continue to hammer away at it. We actually took a different approach, and it's a holistic approach. And from that perspective, I think we're winning the war on getting non-custodial parents to rightfully pay for their child support to their child, but more importantly, reuniting that non-custodial parent back with the child. And what you're going to hear from the guest speakers today is really how we're doing that both from a state agency, from the county, and then from the workforce. And so with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Maria Lasecki, who is our director of our child support agency, who has really been at the forefront in leading this initiative for the last 5 years, I believe, and has been selected by the federal government a number of years ago to be a pilot. We were one of 2 counties in the state of Wisconsin that were chosen, and because of the success that we're having here from that transformational aspect, the state of Wisconsin obviously is our main partner. We work for the state, recognized some of the successes, and ultimately decided that this is something that we can't pass up on. And so with that, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Maria Lasecki. Maria?
Well, you're right, Troy. Having spent the past 6 years administering employment and parenting services through a federal grant, locally we called Supporting Parents, Supporting Kids, we learned a great deal about the way in which the child support program has been negatively perceived. Historically, when it came to non-payment of support, the program only focused on enforcement through traditional means. Essentially, we told non-custodial parents what they already knew. Payments weren't coming in. Through a heavy-handed approach right out of the gate, administrative enforcement tools such as license suspension, liens, passport denial, account seizure, all of those things were plausible, and they were means intended to compel cooperation and payment without further inquiry. The program was never designed to ask why payments weren't coming in, or what we as an agency could do to assist and improve upon the outcome. Thankfully, through the federal waiver, SPSK changed the way we approached that problem. And in lieu of the heavy-handed or hammer approach, a helping hand first approach was tested. We began with why. What's precluding you from meeting your court-ordered obligation? And much to our surprise, we learned many compelling and significant reasons behind non-remittance among some of our struggling NCPs. We learned about inconsistent work histories. We learned about food insufficiency, sometimes medical limitations that were either untreated or undiagnosed. There were literacy issues, transportation issues, even issues of homelessness. Of course, criminal convictions came into play as well, and how to overcome those were barriers that our NCPs faced. So we set out to identify, address, and lift some of those barriers by wrapping around needed services and resources from more of a holistic perspective. Arguably, some barriers are much more challenging to overcome, and our program admittedly has limitations. However, the success stories began to emerge.